All right, so I was recently watching a video by this guy, Ryan Serhant, and he said every realtor's number one job is to fill the pipeline. Pipeline, pipeline, pipeline. As a realtor, you've got to just pour leads. Prospect door to door, cold call, do open houses, hit your database, call for referrals, do as much as you can, post on social media, on YouTube, get referral partners to just dump all these little beads right here, which are leads. You need leads. That's your number one job. And he talked about that. The second job of a realtor is you've got to close. You've got to learn how to have a follow-up process that closes those leads as you come in. There's 5 issues that realtors struggle with. I'm going to cover all 5 today and break down the simplistic approach that helped me close 75 deals my first home, helped me train realtors go from 0 to 57, completely blow up their business because they learned a better, more strategic approach to follow-up. If you look at the data, Serhant recently posted this, and I thought it was so good. But if you look at his post, he talks about how, here's the math. For every 200 leads you get as a realtor, so all these little balls that you get from exposure, you talk to people about buying, selling, investing. Every 200 you get, 2 or 3 will convert in real estate sales. Here's why the conversion is so low, he says. 48% of real estate agents don't follow up after the first call. Only 25% of agents make a second follow-up call, and only 12% make a third. Less than 1 in 10 agents make 3 or more follow-up calls, so follow up. It's simply just understanding how sales works. If you look at generic sales statistics across every industry, it's the same. Look at this. 48% of salespeople will never follow up with a prospect. You work so hard to get that lead, and then half of you won't even follow up with them. 25% of sales make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop, and it gets worse and worse and worse. But look what happens the more you follow up. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% on the second, 5% on the third, 10% on the fourth, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So like Serhant says, this is a skill-based industry. You have got to plug up all the holes in your follow-up system. If you don't, then all these little beads are going to fall through the cracks, and then all of a sudden you don't have any deals because you weren't following up with them. Now, here are the main questions realtors have about follow-up. These are the most common questions that I always get when I walk through this training. How do I follow up with leads? What do I say when I follow up with leads? Which days do I follow up? And which CRM is best? All these questions we're going to cover so that you can walk away with a simplistic, easy approach. Now, granted, are there complicated CRMs and ways to follow up with people? Sure. The approach that I'll walk you through today is how to close now business while still maintaining a touch point with leads until they're ready. You'll learn who to give your attention to so you can close them, but then who not to give your attention to, or who to give your attention to, but maybe not all the way, so that you can close more business over time. Now, as we jump into this, if you haven't been watching the YouTube series, there's 12 videos that I'm doing from the beginning of the year to the end of March in Q1 here in 2026 to help you build a business to go make $500,000 per year as a realtor. I used to be a religious professor, got into door-to-door sales, did that really quick. After 10 years, I got my real estate license, did it again, sold 75 homes my first year, and now I'm the CEO and founder of Davis Sales Training, helping realtors all over the world implement this follow-up strategy to go blow up their business. There are people like Israel and Arizona who made $100K in the first 90 days learning this process. William out in Indiana sold 57 homes his first year. Frankie has 5 listings right now because he's learning who to prioritize and who to give attention to. Jan recently in Canada got an award for being one of the top most recognized door knocking real estate agents, and I coached him one-on-one, and this process helped him. Same thing with all the other people that I've put on the stage. Now, one of the most recognized is Billy out in Alabama. Coached him one-on-one. He learned how to sort his leads, follow up with him accordingly, and his business blew up. He tried to go from part-time to full-time in multiple different coaching platforms. Couldn't until him and I worked one-on-one within 4 months because he learned the strategy was able to go full time. Now, if you want a free consultation, you want me to get on a call on Zoom, break down your follow-up process, figure out where your holes are so you can fix them, then comment free business consultation and DM me on Instagram. I did over 500 of these last year, and that's why realtors are closing deals for free, because of my willingness to just get on the phone and help you with the basics so that you at least know where to go. Now, if you want to take the relationship further and get into the brokerage team I run here at Real, it's nationwide or all over the US, or get into role play coaching or one-on-one coaching, I have that as well. But there's also a free class that I give every Tuesday. Comment free worldwide training, DM me on Instagram. We have over 120 realtors in there. There are realtors closing deals right now because they're coming to that free call. We train on how realtors are putting deals under contract and how to replicate that in the next 72 hours. So follow along for this YouTube series. It's been really fun from week 1 all the way now to week 9. We've got 3 episodes left after this. This will help you go build a business where you can make $500,000 a year simply because you're getting taught how to scale and grow a business, not necessarily how to do paperwork, which is what most brokerages and companies are going to train you on. Okay, now if you want the whole whiteboard and you watch this and you try and take notes as fast as you can, comment follow-up whiteboard breakdown, DM me on Instagram. I'll create a PDF version of this and send it to you because there is a lot. Also, if you want the follow-up workbook that I have on this whiteboard, comment follow-up workbook and DM me on Instagram, and I'll shoot you over a free copy. These resources should be free, but in real estate, it's so complicated how to follow up with leads. And so let's break that down and make it as simple as we can. We're going to walk through when to follow up, how to follow up, and how to close now business while you're still maintaining an eye on those that just might not be ready right now. Now, when I got into real estate, the reason I designed this entire approach is because I was told that there were warm leads, soft leads, cold leads, nurture leads. I didn't know what that was. I came from door knocking for 12 years, and I knocked on someone's door, and you either bought from me or you didn't. If you weren't ready right there, I got out there as fast as I could. I went and closed your neighbor, and so forth for 10, 12 plus years in 40 different markets nationwide. So I was trained and wired. You either close now or you don't. But in real estate, obviously that's not how it works. So I had to learn how to follow up with leads. But the whole warm, nurture, cold approach, I didn't understand it. So I literally just made this up. I made this whole process up with trial and error and with all the books that I read. And I went and shadowed and was mentored by people that were really good at follow-up. And I started to close deals. I had 7 under contract, then 25 my first 6 months, 75 the first year, and it scaled organically because of the process that we'll break down. So take a lot of notes. As you do, I guarantee that you won't need to prospect as much because you'll actually be closing the leads that you already have. Just like Ryan Serhant said in his post, you don't need to go talk to more people. You just need to close the people that you currently have with a better follow-up system. So let's jump into it. So there's a tier to this. There's different strategies that you have to get really good at, and I'm going to break them down for you. The first one is proper qualification. When you have a lead come in, you have to qualify them. If you don't do that, then your database and all your leads management processes are going to be complete waste, and you won't be excited to follow up with them because you don't even know why you put them in there. What happens is you get stuck in the data collection business. Every person you talk to when you're door knocking, doing open houses, DMing people on Instagram, you're putting everybody with a brain in your CRM. You're then not even excited to call. And so you don't even call for an hour a day. And there's your problem right there. And so having a proper qualification process is absolutely important. So let me show you what that looks like. So every time you get a listing lead or a buyer lead, you should have pre-qualification sheets just like this. A yellow copy for the seller, a blue copy for the buyer. Every time that lead comes in, you pull the piece of paper and you have a series of questions that you ask them to qualify whether or not I should put this lead in my database or in my CRM. If you don't do that, all of a sudden you have 10,000 leads in your database. You aren't calling them because you don't really care to, because you don't know who they are and you don't have all their information. And because you're not doing it, you're not consistent, you don't close a lot of business. So these 2 sheets, having something very similar to this, will make that process easier for you. Also, when you're talking to people, ask them, are you having a job relocation? Are you downsizing? Are you upsizing? Are you in the military, moving every couple of years? Did you recently have a birth, a death? Are you cashing out? These questions will help you qualify that lead to know whether or not you should put them in your database. Now, once you qualify them, these are the 4 things that you need that if you got would make the whole process so much easier. Number 1, what's the best day to reach out? Ask them. You might be calling on Tuesday, but they really can't talk to anyone until Thursday through Saturday. So simply having the right day will make this process so much easier for you. The second one, what's the best method to reach out? This will make it, again, so much easier because if you're emailing and they don't check their emails, all of a sudden now you know you need a text and you get a better response. So know what method of communication they prefer. Then what's the best time of day to reach out? You might be reaching out at 8 o'clock in the morning, but they're at work. They can't get back to you until 5. So your notes in your database should say that. And then the last one, do you want me to reach out once a week, 3 times a week, or once a month? You'll see here in a minute, the better you can figure that out, then your system that you have on your calendar will work accordingly to this so that you can get a hold of them. You might be overwhelming them and they just need 1 reach out a week. Or maybe you're reaching out once a week and they want 3 and they want more attention. So these 4 questions plus qualifying the leads is the first step to your follow-up process. When those leads come in the bucket, right as you start to get more exposure and do more open houses and they start to funnel in, you need to right out of the gate qualify them to see where the next step to put them. If you don't know where to put them, then all of a sudden you start to develop a database in a CRM that's messy, confusing, and overwhelming. So this is literally why you're qualifying them, is to figure out where to put them. So what I did is I invented this. I came up with this whole process I just called it ABCDE. It made sense to me and it helped me close more business while following up with leads so that I could close who is ready now. And as time passed, these leads over here, because they had a simple touch process, closed as well. So here's how it works. You go from motivation and timeline, the hottest of the hot, all the way back. So the first one you have, these are your golden goose. These are who we're all chasing. It's the now business. Can you write an offer right now, or are you going to list your home with me in the next couple of days? I call that the A category. I'm going to reach out to these guys every other day, and I'll show you what to say when you reach out to them. Ideally, you want 8 to 12 in here. If you can have a healthy A category, then you'll know you'll close a couple transactions a month. What I see with real estate agents is they don't have that many, and so you don't know when your next paycheck is coming. Prospect until you have 8 to 12 in your A, and you'll always be just fine. The next one is the B category. These are the people that are 2 to 5 months out. Usually it's, hey, in a month or two because we're traveling, or maybe they're really picky and they're waiting for the right home and that's taking a couple months. It's the people that are a little bit behind. That's your B category. This B category, you want 18 to 25 people in there, and you're only going to reach out once a week. And I'll show you what to say when you reach out to them. Your C category, these are going to be the 6 to 12 month out people. These are usually the seasonal, after the spring, after the summer, in the winter, beginning of next year. Those are usually people that are based off of seasons because of what's going on in their life. Those are the people that you only want to reach out to once a month. Don't reach out to these guys anymore. And don't bank on these, because most of the time you say, hey, I've got a listing here in 2 or 3 months, and then you stop prospecting. Well, guess what? You need more A's and B's so you can close business, because what's going to happen is in a couple months, that deal is going to come around. They're not going to want to sell, or they signed with somebody else that knew how to close them, and now you're out. So that's why you always have to have a healthy pipeline with a follow-up process, like Ryan Serhant says. So the first through the third, I'm going to print off that C category list. Literally take your follow-up boss, take your CRM, print it off. And with a yellow highlighter, you're going to call each person. And once you get them on the phone, you cross them out. And you call and call and call 2 to 3 times a day until you get them on the phone. Now, why is this the process for C category? Because these guys are most likely to change their timeline. So just stay on top of them, because they might all of a sudden want to go here in the next couple weeks, even though they told you 8 months, 2 or 3 weeks ago. The next category is your D category. These are the people that are 1 to 2 years out. These are going to be your automated MailChimp. VA is going to reach out to them. Don't do anything. So many realtors do these complicated monthly emails. Well, you know what? If I were to open my phone right now, I've got 25,000 misread emails, okay? Most people that you're reaching out to, they're not checking their emails. So stop making these fancy emails. These people are 1 to 2 years out. Just automate something. It's literally just to stay top of mind. And those are the people that you want 1 to 2 years out. If they're farther than that, in my opinion, don't put them in here. Because if you mix or you confuse or you make blurry your database and CRM, it'll kill the motivation to reach out. Because you're not reaching out, all of a sudden now you lose them. The last category is your E category. These are your investors. These are the weekly best deal emails and the text threads you're going to send out. I always have one email that goes out with the deals of the week, and then I have a group on WhatsApp where I have investors that are going to buy something in the next couple months. I qualify them by asking. I have an exclusive WhatsApp group thread on WhatsApp. I send the best deals there. Do you want to be in there, or would you prefer a monthly generic best of the deals weekly email? And right there, if they choose the WhatsApp thread, they know the standard is to do 2 or 3 deals a year. So right there, that's how I sort them. And those are the follow-up processes. Now that's it. Don't do warm, don't do cold, don't do nurture. Just do it off of timeline and motivation. And this process will make it so much easier for you. Now, let's say you have a client in your A and you're reaching out every other day, but they're not responding back to you. Okay. Or you have someone in the C that you reach out once a month or you call and they're not responding to. If you have that happen, then there's 2 things that you can do to poke them enough to reach back out to you to know what category to put them in. One is you're going to simply say, hey, John, looks like 3 months isn't working, or once a month or every other day or once a week isn't working like we had originally talked about. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and move you back to the B category, C category, D category, and that is a reach out of every month or an automated email, whatever you're moving them back to. If anything changes, let me know. Let people know when you're moving them. It'll make the process so much simpler. Or you could just simply say, hey, John, reaching out as promised, like we talked about. It looks like you've given up on your dream to buy a home, or possibly start working with another realtor. Either way, totally okay. I just want to make sure you get the treatment you deserve. Let me know. Now, if those are uncomfortable conversations to have for you with leads that aren't responding, then simply go read this book. It'll make it so much easier. It's called Crucial Conversations. It'll help you have these conversations with clients so that you're not getting too stressed about reaching out to them. But those 2 phrases right there will help you really poke these people. So again, you know which category to put them in. Okay, now step number 3 is how to follow up. Now you understand the frequency of following up, but let's see what that looks like and what the scripts look like. Now, in regards to what CRM to use, the best CRM is the one that you'll use. Simple as that. There's so many CRMs out there. People are crushing it on paper, on Excel. It doesn't matter. Just the one that you use and commit to, and that's easy for you, that's the one you should go all in on. It's a kind of a good rule of thumb that most top producing realtors are going to be on Follow Up Boss, High Level, or Go High Level, or Lofty, just as a rule of thumb. But this is what your calendar is going to look like, okay? Every other day, you're going to have your A's on there. You're going to have your B's on Monday, and your C's happen the 1st through the 3rd every month. And then the D category on Monday gets an email with the best weekly updates, as well as your group chat on WhatsApp. 1 hour a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you should be following up with your clients. So if we go down to your calendar, you should have 1 hour a day, every day, to follow up with your clients. This takes out all the emotion, the decision paralysis. It strips it all out so that you know exactly what you're supposed to do those days on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Remember, Ryan Serhant talked about how the biggest issue is that we're just not following up. But 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So it's simply a game of follow-up. All you need to do is put it on your calendar so you don't have to use any willpower, any thought process. You just look at your calendar, and either your Lofty, Go High Level, or Follow Boss will tell you what to do that day, or your calendar, your Google Calendar will tell you what to do. Now, when I reach out, I have this system right here. There's 7 different ways to reach out, and each of them have a hook making it intriguing for them to want to respond to me. So what I do is I print this off. I have it on my computer desk, And every time I reach out to the lead, it's number one, a text hook. Hey, John, it's Jeremy. I had a quick question about the house we were looking at or the investment duplex that you sent over to me. When you have a quick second, give me a call. Or when can you hop on a quick call? Question mark. Then when I reach out to them again on Wednesday, it's number two. So now I'm going to go to the video hook. Then to send a link to a house text. And then number four is a video of a neighborhood approach. The fifth one is something related to your area. The whole idea right here is you can't send the same thing every time. You can't just say, hey, I was thinking about you, haven't heard. Hey, I was thinking about you, haven't heard back. Hey, I was thinking about you, haven't heard back. You need to have variety and you need to have a hook, something that makes them curious enough to want to reach back out to you. So you start using psychology of selling to get people to respond to you. This will make your follow-up process so much easier. Now, if this whole process is new to you and you haven't thought about it this way, I have a whole schedule. It's top real estate producer schedule. Comment that in the YouTube episode and then DM me on Instagram. And this will break down how to take your lead follow-up and put it into your schedule like we just talked about right here. So that's number three. That's what do you say? When do you say it? How do you put it on your calendar? And what CM are you now using? The last step is to be persistent. When you're in sales and real estate, realize that you can't twist everyone's arm to sell or buy or invest right now. But because you have that lead, they might want to do something in the next 2 years. So now all you need to do is close enough now business, 2 to 3 deals every month. Then all of a sudden, 6 months, you have 3 more deals close. And then 3 months down the road, you have 4 deals close because you had a simple follow-up process. So you have to be persistent. The persistent realtor that follows up until that client dies is the one that'll do the most business. Now, all of this entire approach right here is all for leads. This is how you follow up with your leads. But there's 2 different categories. There's past clients and sphere. These are both very different follow-up processes. So let me break down a couple and then we'll wrap up the YouTube episode. So the first one is sphere. So your sphere is going to be family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, people that go to church with you. Make sure you have 250 to 500 people in there. You don't want too many, but you need their name, phone, address, and real estate needs. In our script practice coaching, that's $250 a month. We have an entire script book for this, and we role play it once a week. How to reach out to your sphere, and what are the things that you say in order to get referrals, push your listings, or you have a buyer that's looking. What do you say and how do you say it? If you're not being taught that and you want to get in, that's free on the brokerage team. It's included in the one-on-one coaching, or you can just get into skill development coaching for $250 a month, and we practice that every single week. But that's one category right there. Every time you have a listing in that hour a day, you're going to call out to your sphere. Hey, I just got a new listing. Let me text it over to you. What are your thoughts? Who do you know? I have a buyer looking. What are your thoughts? Who do you know? I'm looking for a referral. 2 more deals I want to close this month. Who do you know? Every hour that's on your calendar that we talked about, that's right here. After you contact your leads, you should be pumping your sphere for those 3 topics right here. For listings, you have a buyer looking, or there's a referral. Now let's move over to past clients. To me, there's 5 different ways you can reach out to your past clients. 1, on the anniversary. Every time you close a deal with them or you sell their home, tell your CRM to put an anniversary call 1 year in advance or every year until they die. Simply just calling them and saying, hey, John, last year was today is the anniversary of when we sold your home. How are you doing? And just simply chat with them. You take it off your brain so you don't have to remember and offload it to your CRM. The second one is a social media approach. You're going to go to the social media past clients, hit this bell, turn on all these notifications so that when they post, you stay top of mind. The ultimate king right now to long-term follow-up is social media, is just staying top of mind, being familiar. The more familiar and consistent they see you, the more they're reminded when they go to buy, sell, or invest, or have a referral for you. It'll make the process so much easier. All right, the next one is quarterly events. Every quarter, you should have a very simple process like this to put on an event for your clients. Every time I've done this, I've gotten 2 to 4 deals within the next 3 months because I put on that event. Simply just go put it on your calendar, just like this. The last or first Monday of every month, boom, there you go. Or the last Friday of every month, boom, there you go. 2 months before, you call through your database to invite them. 3 days after, you thank them for coming and ask for a referral. That should happen every quarter. That is the easiest way to stay top of mind for your past clients. The next one is call them, officially call them. Now, you're going to call them almost every day through that sphere and past clients. It might take you a couple of weeks to get through it, but you're going to call them every time you have a listing, a buyer looking, or you want a referral. But you should still have it on your calendar, maybe the first couple of days of each month, to reach out to your past clients and just check in with them. Hey, I'm calling to give you your quarterly update. Put that in the calendar so your brain doesn't have to remember. Have one of these CRMs remind you that, oh yeah, it's the first couple of days of every quarter. I need to reach out to my past clients to let them have a market update. And then the last thing, like we talked about right here, is every time you have a listing, a buyer looking, or a referral, you reach out to them. That way you can touch base with them. They remember that you're doing business and that you're relevant, because most realtors don't do that. Therefore, past clients don't even know if their realtors are still in the business. Okay, well, let's wrap up. Hopefully that was super helpful. You're walking away with answers to how do I follow up with leads, past clients, and Sphere? What do I say when I do that? What days of the week? And what CRM is best? Remember, you don't have to necessarily prospect more. You just have to follow up more so that the leads that you already talked to close. You don't have any holes in your process like this diagram so that you can have a full cup at the bottom. Now, don't forget, if you have any questions or want any of the free packets or want a free consultation, comment below and then reach out to me on Instagram.